When I started work on a local newspaper in 1978, computers still only did things for the government. And the typing pool was still using typewriters all the way past Bucks, Fizz, Duran Duran and Bananarama. It wasn't until the mid-80s, only 20 years ago, that very slowly the realization began to dawn that computers were going to be more than machines that did serious maths for engineers and soldiers. But in my experience, it's only been in the last 10 years that computers have spread their own brand of chaos and mental breakdown around the world. And for such a recent innovation, we really do seem to have fallen deeply and passionately in love. Today, computers are quite simply everywhere. They're on your desk, on your lap, in your palm. They work your washing machine, they play your CDs, they're in your wristwatch. In short, just about anything that uses electricity today will have a microprocessor, a computer. The average British home contains about 100. So instead of there being 5 computers in the world, there are over 17 million in the UK alone. And we've reached the point where there are plenty of things we simply couldn't do without computers. Like flying this plane. It's the Eurofighter, and even the gentlemen of the RAF couldn't fly it. If it were left to humans, Britain's first line of defence would immediately crash. The Eurofighter's onboard computer makes hundreds of tiny alterations a second to the aircraft's control surfaces, making sure that the whole thing keeps spectacularly airborne. So, you don't fly it, you just tell it where to go and what to shoot at. And that's great, so long as your instructions make sense. But in 1999, NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter was programmed using both metric and imperial units. So, after 10 long months getting to Mars, the system got confused by inches here and centimeters there. The $125 million space probe ploughed into the ground, which it thought was somewhere else. And you see, that's the problem. Computers may be great at doing maths quickly. They may even appear to be clever. But they're not, you know. They're as daft as brushes. And the reason why they're so stupid is that they blindly carry out human mistakes perfectly and uncritically. Now, this stupidity should scare us to death, but it doesn't. What scares us is this. For years, we've been told that one day we'll build a computerized, emotionless cyborg that absolutely will not stop. But is this really the future? Can we ever expect to be walking with robots? At the moment, this is as scary as it gets. It's the Roomba-Vac, a robot vacuum cleaner, which they say is intelligent, but it's not that intelligent, is it? Because it can't even recognise when it's stopped being on a rug. Watch. Look at that. Come on, moron. Even its makers say in the handbook, which I've got here, that it may get stuck from time to time, and you don't see that in the science fiction films. Arnold Schwarzenegger's plans for world domination beaten by a cunningly placed pot plant. Get out of there and stay fashionable. For anything approaching the kind of world domination that Governor Schwarzenegger deals in, computers that run robots would require at least a modicum of intelligence, and this is what scares us. Very credible scientists out there are pushing AI as the next big thing. Even Alan Turing predicted that one day computers would have minds of their own. To find out whether a computer was intelligent or not, Turing devised a test. It was very simple. He said that if you can have a conversation with it and believe it to be human, then it must have some kind of intelligence. He even scripted an example of the kind of intelligent chats that might occur.
In the first line of your sonnet, which reads, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" would not a spring day do as well or better?
It wouldn't scan.
How about a winter's day? That would scan all right?
Yes, but nobody wants to be compared to a winter's day.
Would you say that Mr. Pickwick reminded you of Christmas?
In a way.
Yet Christmas is a winter's day, and I don't think that Mr. Pickwick would mind the comparison.
I don't think you're serious. By a winter's day, one means a typical winter's day, rather than a special one like Christmas.
In 1950, Turing predicted that within 100 years, we'd be able to have a conversation like that on any subject with a machine. However, there are those who say we can do it now, 50 years early. This is what they're talking about. This is Ella. Don't be fooled by the picture. She's a machine, and I'm supposed to be able to have a conversation with her. So let's give it a try. What's she saying here? Hello, my name's Ella. Nice to meet you. Please tell me what name I should call you. Jeremy, say, does being a man pay well? Do you like cheese? I'm not so excited about cheese. A little is okay. I saw the Doobie Brothers there. How did it look to you? Not it look, they look. You've never heard of the Doobie Brothers, have you? What's heard of the Doobie Brothers like? You don't even know where to put apostrophes. She's intelligent in the same way that I think my dog's intelligent. Who, what, where, why, when, how. You should be a newspaper reporter. Again, let me change the subject a little. She doesn't know, does she?